You're fine, buddy. What are you crying for? Hmm? You're fine. Come on, Blink. Really wish I had taken that Green Goblin sketch with me yesterday. Buddy, go lay down. Go lay down. All right. So if you were here earlier this week, I did kind of, not a watch along, but like a keep me company while I draw, because I'm working on Welcome to Pleasant Falls and I don't want to like give away any of the art or story. So I'm going to kind of do that right now. But what I was talking about a second ago was I took a blank Spider-Man cover with me to a group hangout yesterday, and I did not bring this Green Goblin sketch with me, this rough piece that I did, because that's what I wanted the sketch cover to look like, and the sketch cover doesn't look like that, unfortunately. So this is page 7 that I'm working on. And then I'll probably like flip the camera around in a little bit and do some like live down drawing. Hi. So this is going to be like a couple of pages that I've been working on that are like have the same panel in it multiple times. And there's a couple of ways I can do that. I can stat the panel, meaning I can draw it one time or draw what I need that's not going to change one time. And then once I scan the page, I can grab the panel, copy paste it 3 times, right? But I can also draw it the first time, trace it, and then put it back in place. Or I can do like I'm going to attempt to do this time, like I did with the other page that I wanted to do this with. And that is just try to match everything so that I know if you're watching, you're just kind of seeing me standing here or sitting here or whatever, and it's not that exciting. If you do end up reading this book, it'll make sense why I'm doing this, because I don't want to spoil anything for those that are reading it, you know. Buddy, I don't know what you want. You went outside. Oh, you didn't get a snack. That's right. All right, hold on a second. I got to get my dog a snack. Because I think he remembers that I said I would get him a snack. Come on. Back this way. Back this way. Back this way. Maybe people want to see you. Get this way. Sure, eat that one. You gotta chew them. Don't just swallow them. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. So, hey, here you go. This is Grayson. This is my little Bambino. You're okay. Yeah. Yeah. You gonna sit down? Okay. You got your snack. You already went outside. No, don't get out of your bed again. Yeah, he's a little goofball. Trying to, like, I'm drawing an alarm clock, and I could do it the easy way and do an analog, but here we go. Now, guys, I'll say hi. I'm not shouting people out. If I'm not familiar with you, I'm not doing that. That's not my gig. So then you got to decide here, like, how much of that changes. Is anybody in the chat a horror movie fan or fans of horror in general? And if you are you participating in the 100 Days of Horror or 100 horror movies, like, kind of countdown to Halloween? And if you're not sure what it is, let me know. It's something I heard about a few years back, like 2023, 2024, I think, maybe even 2022. And it's essentially you try to watch, if you do 100 Days of Horror, you start on the 23rd or 24th of July. I forget which it actually is, because it's 100 days before Halloween. So it's a countdown to Halloween. And so you try to watch 100 different horror movies on a countdown to Halloween. Then there's kind of a secondary challenge, which is hold on a second. Yeah, there you go. And the secondary challenge is trying to watch 100 movies that you haven't seen before. And so I've been doing pretty good with that. I've missed one day. I forget what happened. Oh, no, I remember. Like, the night before, I had tried watching a movie and the app I was watching on kept crashing. And so I had to like keep restarting it over and over again. And I was so frustrated um, that I stopped the movie and I went back the next day and finished it. Like there was literally like 10 minutes left. That's how annoying it was. So that day I only finished the movie I was already watching. Like I didn't watch anything new, which is really disappointing, honestly, on my part. But I've picked up every day since then, with the exception of last Friday. Um, because man, the movie I tried to watch last Friday was god awful. It's called it's kind of got two different names. One was Treasure of the Undead, and the other was like when you're watching it, the title that pops up is Oasis of Oasis of the Zombies. You wonder how you draw an alarm clock, literally time passing, and tell it with tension. Last year, I did a breakdown of all the movies that I ended up watching, and I'll probably do the same thing this year. Okay, so if he's in bed, and he's reaching over to hit the alarm clock, so he's sleeping. Oh no, that's perfect. Okay. So he would be sleeping on his side that way. Hand. Okay. Anybody here working on like comics or just kind of, because that's primarily what I do. So I'm a 20-year veteran in independent comics. I don't know how many different issues in separate issues I've published, not including like reprints or collected editions. Um, Next year will actually be the 10th anniversary of my book, The Bubba Patrol. So we may do like a special collected edition of it, which would be kind of nice. So a lot of people or maybe not a lot of people, but people have asked for a collected edition of it, saying that um, they don't read singles anymore. But my big issue is like, if you're not going to read the singles and you're only going to pick up the collected, then how do I fund the collected, right? Let's see. Um, just looking up people shutting off alarm clocks, and there's like a ton of like licensable images. Like I just want to, and that's probably going to be the closest one. Yeah, I guess that'll have to do. I want the other side of the hand, though. Sure, like the more descriptive you get with your the more like you look at stuff, like it's like, okay, then you get the basis of it done, but then you have to adjust like the anatomy some, because like obviously the person who is doing this is not the hand model in this piece, right? Okay, so I guess that'll kind of have to do for now, and then we there we go. That's kind of good enough for now. You can tighten that up in the inks. I don't know why YouTube sends these like little cues and it's like, oh, hey, do you want to rehearse um, questions and answers? And I'm like, if people have questions, they can ask questions. If they don't, they don't. That's so. Also, what I've been trying to do working on my book is getting like a half an hour to maybe an hour or so in every day. If I get focused and I work for a couple of hours on my book, then that's fine. But I also want to keep my momentum. I want to keep, my motivation. And sometimes that becomes harder to do if you just sit and stare at a blank paper or a blank screen for a really long period of time. And it's a very defeating type of thing. And so I was talking about this on Monday, but I was watching a YouTuber um, named um, Super Eye Patch Wolf, or maybe it's regular Eye Patch Wolf. And he was talking about how somebody asked how he keeps from like creative burnout um, and things like that. And he equated it to doing martial arts, which he loves, and how he would go to the gym twice a week and like just run himself into the ground. And he couldn't figure out a way to not run himself ragged and be able to go more than that. And he saw another guy there who was there every day. And he asked him, how do you do that? And the guy told him, I don't go 100% when I'm in the gym. I go 60, 70%. And that keeps me from burning out. That keeps me from getting exhausted. That keeps me from um, just getting to the point where I don't want to do this kind of thing. What's up, Dustin? Um, and so I've kind of tried to take that into myself with this work because I was all gung ho and I got into like the first several pages and I was just like, yeah, I got page one, I got page two, I got to page three, and then I just kind of got stuck, right? And I was just like, I don't want that to happen. Like, I want to be able to continue, even if it's doing one panel, even if it's doing two panels, even if it's getting like the pencils just right, like just roughed onto the page, and then going in and tightening them up later. That's still progress, right? So it's a good way of doing things. And I'm trying to do that with going into the gym as well, because I've been really bad about that lately. And I've realized like my shoulder, I've got kind of like really tight rotator cuffs on both of my shoulders. And I've had injuries to both shoulders, like torn cartilage and stuff like that. And so it's never fun having that because you can't like there's like sharp pains and like weakness and stuff like that. So realizing like I've got to do physical therapy, so picking up my bands and doing the physical therapy in the morning and the afternoon, and my shoulders are starting to feel better. So I don't want to let up on doing the physical therapy, but maybe I'll once the shoulders feel completely better, then it's like, okay, switch to doing it once a day or doing it every other day so that you still maintain those small muscles that are really, really important for holding your shoulder in place and maintaining like bounce back and everything. And then getting in the gym and doing other things that aren't going to impact my shoulders, like my legs. I did a full leg workout today, or most of a full leg workout today, using just my resistance bands. And it was good. Like my legs didn't feel noodly, but they felt like super warm and super like hot by the end of it. So that, I mean, that's all I can hope for, right? So let me grab a sketch cover and then I'll flip this sucker over. Grayson, watch out. All right. So I'm going to flip this over. Hold on a second. You guys are going to look at the ceiling for a minute. So that's what I kind of like about this. Like, you don't have to shut it off and like redo it. So that was my green goblin sketch, right? And I should have kept that with me because this is what I ended up with. And I'm really not happy with it, but I may just like, you know what? Let's go for the gusto and just overload it with blacks and see what we can do with it, because I already don't like it. Let's see if I can fix it. But yeah, if I do another Green Goblin sketch, like I tried drawing them straight on, and I forget if I tried drawing them at that angle too. All right, what we got? So we're gonna grab some pencils. And I kind of want to start working like more like solid, big graphic blacks. But I don't know. I really like just the goblin design. When I went into the shop today, Dustin, I asked Tony how like the voting and stuff is going, and he said he has to put out like another post just to do like a reminder. But he said that there's been a lot of like activity and people voting and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. So like, you know, like part of me at the beginning was like, I don't want to enter because if I enter and I lose, like there's part of me that's going to feel like shame as, you know, a professional, albeit independent comic book artist. And it was actually like Jeannie who really pushed the like the narrative on that, and she was just like really instrumental in me like doing my piece in that time frame. And I need to put out a new post as well, like just a new like story or whatever. If I won or even got like second or third place, like that'd be dope. But I'm not really, you know, like going to worry about it or anything. You know, put your artwork out there, and that's like part of it, right? But I've actually been doing a lot more art lately, like not just work on the book, but um, getting more in my 2026 journal, like just putting more pieces in it. And I might actually finish the journal before the end of the year. I probably will finish it before the end of the year. But it makes me feel like successful in that regard, right? Like, because part of it is just drawing. Like, you don't have to finish whatever it is. And whatever it is that you drew doesn't have to be commodified or kind of thing. So, trying to think of like what movie I'm going to watch today, but I don't have them like mapped out ahead of time. I think last year I kind of did, you know. You said that Presidio is having a sale this weekend. You're you're going to go to it, right? I might do some yard sale hopping this weekend. I don't know. I kind of want to sleep in. Oh, you have to work? Oh, is that why you were asking me if I was going to go? Okay. So then what I'll do is I'll take some like whiteout and I'll like fill in like here to make the hood more solid, right? Buddy, what do you want? Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you could use white paint. I guess I could use that. You could use this. Same thing. But kind of the nice thing is with this, you can kind of draw over with black. You know what? The smart thing to do is kind of map it out with this guy. Actually, I have like an in-between one, so. But what the hell, right? All right, let me go let the dog outside. All right. Come on, you nerd. Go ahead. He's so funny. He like um he'll like look at me like, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" And I'm like, "Buddy, like I don't need to be out here while you go to the bathroom." So you put that base down and then you put I mean that doesn't look terrible, right? That could even be Hobgoblin. It actually looked pretty sick with some yellow or some orange tweaked in with them. Black and orange is one of my favorite color combos. And one can thank both the San Francisco Giants and Taz for that. All right, hold on. Of course. All right, so we got those there. Let's see. All right. So today I picked up Punisher issue 7. I didn't like any of the covers they had. They did have like a 1 in 25, which I considered getting, but I don't want to spend money. And then Dustin actually clued me into this. This is Horror of Godzilla, issue 1, the Halloween homage cover. And he had one copy left, and it was pretty dope. It's a good series too if you like the original Godzilla and like where he comes from and like what it's really about and everything. Then I think you'll dig it. I don't know if I've done a lot of um, paint pen on a cover before. Okay, that'll make sense in a second, right? Because I don't think I'm going to fill up this entire thing. You don't want to like necessarily do that with paint pen anyways, just because of how friggin' expensive these things are. And I know I said Green Goblin initially, which I meant, but making him like all macabre and everything, I think he looks more like Hobgoblin. Plus, sometimes you've just got to roll with it, right? Not everything works exactly the way you planned it. In fact, very rarely does anything work exactly the way you planned it. Okay. It's not terrible, you know. Could it be better? Of course it could. Is it gonna be better? No, not at this point. Nah, 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 nah. Watch me screw up my own signature. Actually, you know, if we're gonna go all out, then, you know, Let's go all out. And we shall wait for that to dry. Dude, my computer has to update like once a week. That's crazy. Anybody else's computer update that often? Like, does that seem excessive? Yeah. I don't remember, dude, but it was like of the covers, it was the best one. Key collector. Search series. Man, I friggin' like just put them in order. Like it's not hard to put them in order. Red Band. Okay, Red Band was awesome. Oh my God, this is obnoxious. It's just because he's had like 9,000 series. Like, just give me like just the Punisher. Punisher Spider-Man, no, but it's the same year. Punisher Armory. Word Journal #1. Good Lord. I have no idea. Like, it's ridiculous that there are this many goddamn volume 16. That's, oh my God, that's not even the friggin' one. Oh my God, that's so dumb. Okay, so they don't even show the one in 25. Oh wait, there it is. It's like an action shot of him fighting what's the name of the character? Collateral Damage on the cover. So the A cover is Collateral Damage. Then the other variants, there's kind of like a 70s throwback with Mary Jane in the front, Spidey swinging towards a Punisher who's shooting at him from a rooftop. Wait. Okay, so it's 60 years of Mary Jane. Like they just skipped out on 50 years of the Punisher. Then there's one of the Punisher just like running forward and he's armed to the teeth, which would have been cool, but I really didn't like the art style. And then there's one of just Collateral Damage, like a side shot of him just shooting people. It isn't showing up clickable. Look at Key Collector, bro. There you go. That's a way to fix a signature. And just because I at this point, I kind of don't care. Grayson, did you close the back door? One of these days, I'm going to get him to close the back door. I don't know how I'm going to get him to close the back door, but we're going to figure it out. Because then you can say it's, it's Hobgoblin, it's Demo Goblin, although Demo Goblin does have a specific look. Alrighty then. I may be done for tonight. Got 3 panels of page 7 drawn, which is really good considering they are like back-to-back-to-back panels, like mirrored stat panels of sorts. And then, yeah, so that'll do it for tonight. All right, guys. I might do another live tomorrow. Just depends how I feel, if I'm able to get a good workout in, if I'm able to get a workout in, yeah, but I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon. And I need to start uploading some of the videos that I have of like some time lapses that I've done of like different art projects and things. So bear with me on that. But I mean, if you sub to the channel, you'll start seeing some more art videos and like process videos and stuff like that as well. So hope we'll see you back here. All right, guys. Have a good night.